everybody, it's Holly. Hey, welcome back to my channel, Smile by Holly. It's wonderful to have you here. Thank you for joining. So today I am going to be showing you a step-by-step tutorial on how to put together this Snowflake Hexagon box. And this is a Lori Whitlock file. And oh my gosh, this turned out so cute. I made my snowflake so that it rotated. And I think that is so cute. Let's pull off the top of the box. Now this is a pretty good sized box. Like I'm thinking you could even put like a t-shirt down in there, some socks, some perfume, some body lotions, even maybe fill it with some cookies. So yeah, this is a great size box to kind of fill with whatever you're wanting to put down inside. I've added some pattern paper on the side. I've added some sparkle paper and some 3D snowflakes. Oh my goodness, I had so much fun making this. So let's go ahead and get started, and I will show you step by step on how to make this adorable little snowflake hexagon box. And thanks to Lori Whitlock for the wonderful file. So I have gone ahead and I've cut out all my different pieces, and I'll lay them out so you can kind of see all the different pieces. So you'll have two parts for the top, and then you're going to have two parts for the body. And this is the body, and then this will be for the top. I'm going to go ahead and just fold on all my score lines. And as we go to put this together, you'll see it kind of take shape. So tell me, how are you guys? It is the new year. Happy 2026. So, you know, I heard an interesting thing just before the new year. Someone was telling me that they don't make goals anymore for the new year. They make wishes. And I thought, how clever. You know, sometimes I think, not to bash on goals, because I think goals are good, but I think sometimes, at least I do, I set myself up. You know, I set these kind of unrealistic goals, and maybe that's where I need to start first of all, is making my goals a little bit more realistic. But she said, well, I don't make goals, I make wishes for the new year. And I thought, that I love that whole idea of making wishes. And so that's kind of where I'm going with 2026, is I am going to make wishes instead of goals. So how about you guys? Have you guys set goals? Do you like the whole wishes concept? I think it's just a cute idea on a different take for making goals. Okay, we've got everything folded and scored now. Now you can do this a couple different ways. You can put it together and then add all of the pieces, the like kind of the fill-in pieces, or you can do it while it's flat. And I have found that by adding the embellishment pieces while it's flat, it helps to keep everything so it's lined up. So that's what we're going to be doing. And just so this video doesn't take super long, I'm going to go ahead and put these pieces on, and then we'll come back for the next step. Okay, so we've got all of the layers on, and aren't those just so cute? So let's take our two big base layers, and you'll see the tab here on the side. We are going to be hooking those two together. And once again, I think it's easy just to do it while it's all flat, because I used my mat here and I line everything up just to make sure it all stays straight. It's so important so that your lid will fit down over the top. So yeah, just getting that on. Then we've got, look how long that is. This is going to make that good big size box. So now we've got the tab on this side. Let me just fold that. We are going to bring this over and connect those two together, and that's going to make the base. So a little bit of glue onto the tab, making sure everything is lining up. Yeah, just take your time. This has been such a fun project. I was making this while binge watching Netflix, and I swear I could have made like a million because I was just relaxed and having fun crafting. Okay, so there is the base of our box. Now let's go back to the lid. This is the lid part. Now you're wondering what these little flaps are right here. Well, these are going to reinforce the lid. So we're just going to glue those right on top of each other. Does that make sense? Which will make the lid a little bit more sturdy. So just glue that, fold that over, and just glue that together. Okay. So we're kind of in a funny winter here in Utah. We usually have so much snow by like Christmas and the New Year, and it has been just so dry. I mean, there was so many people that usually come to Utah for Christmas and have a big ski vacation, and what the news was saying is so many people had canceled because we're just not getting the snow like we used to. So I'm sure it's going to be coming, and I certainly don't mind right now. I'm okay having it be 51 degrees in the beginning of January. It's very, very unusual. But what about you? What is the weather like where you're at in January? I mean, we've had a few little snowfalls, but nothing like bringing the snowblower out or anything like that. But like I say, I'm sure it will be coming. Okay, do you see how we're just making this kind of reinforced? Okay, so here is the top part, and we're going to take that tab right there and just glue those together, just like we did with the base. So glue that on. I loved this kind of holographic sparkle paper. Oh my goodness. I think it kind of added that festive feel for like winter and the new year. Okay, so then we are going to take this tab right here, and just like we did on the base, we will glue that together, and that's going to make our top. So a little bit of glue right here. And just hook those together. Okay, now I'm going to fold my tabs down. This is where we are going to take two of these base pieces. Now they are all slightly different sizes. So the biggest size, and like I say, as you're cutting them out, you'll want to make note of how they just slightly get smaller and smaller. So this is my biggest, and this is going to go on to my top. Now one thing that I found to be really easy in order to do this was, let me get this all set. I took my base and I put this lid onto it before I started to hook this part on. So here my lid base is on top of my base. And then I found that it was really easy because this helped to kind of keep its shape as we go and put this lid on. So we're just going to go section by section and glue this on. So a little bit of glue onto this glue tab, and once again for the lid we're using the largest octagon shape. And I'm just going to, by doing it this way, I was able to keep the oxygen, the hexagon shape just nice and perfect. So I'm just following that so it lines up right on the edge of this. Do you see that? Okay, a little bit of glue in here. I mean, I'm sure there's other ways to do it, but I thought this was super helpful to have the lid actually on the base. Okay, moving on. And then you can kind of form the base to the lid. Does that make sense? Because this is flexible, so you can actually form this lid to the base. And I'm just lining these little sections, so these little sections right here, one at a time. That way you have a little bit of time to maneuver it and get it lined up just perfectly. Okay, we've got two more. 1, 2. And as I'm doing this, you can kind of squeeze the hexagon box to fit the lid. Okay, so a little bit, let's see. Yeah, so look how nice that is. The lid lined up just perfect. Now this is going to be our bottom, and so this is where you're going to take the second to largest size, and this is going to line up right here on the bottom. Once again, we're making the shape of the box, so it tends to be easier to fit the lid and the bottom on because the box has already taken form. I hope that makes sense. I hope I'm explaining it okay. Okay, just turn my box. And then once we have the top and the bottom all done, the rest just goes super, super fast. When I saw this box, I thought, what a great size. You know, rarely do you find a box that's, you know, big enough to actually put, you know, a small t-shirt in or something. I was really impressed with the size of this. Okay. And I think the best when making this is to use some wet glue so you do have that wiggle room to get everything to line up in the hexagon shape. Okay, we've got two more. Okay, so the bottom of our box is great. So there's the bottom and the top, and then you'll take the two smaller ones, and these are going to fit in there, and they will cover up the little tabs. Let me see if you can, do you see the tabs that are all the way around? This is not necessary, but I feel like it maybe finishes or completes your box a little bit nicer. So we're just going to glue that on in the inside. It goes in and it covers all of those tabs. Isn't that great? And this is the same with the one on the bottom. Actually, when I put my tissue paper in, the one that I had made, you really don't need this, but just because I've already cut them out and it does make it look super nice, just giving you some options. Okay, so there is the base and our lid. Now what I chose to do with this is I made my little snowflake so that it turned, and I thought that was kind of a cute effect. Isn't that fun that it just spins? So what I did is, let's go ahead and glue our snowflake onto this base. And if you look, you can kind of see where these line up. Okay, so make sure that's lined up before you glue it on. This holographic paper was a little bit thicker than what I normally cut out, so I think I had to go through it like 3 or 4 times with my machine, just because I wanted the snowflake to be crisp and I didn't want to have it not work after using this iridescent paper. I wanted to make sure that the cut was good. And I think it turned out really cute. I'm liking this iridescent. Okay, so we've got glue on that. Once again, I'm going to line this up. And I took this V in the snowflake and lined it up with this V. Can you see that? So I'm lining that V up, so the V right there with the V right there, and that seemed to fit just nicely. I've gone ahead with my poker tool and I've poked just a little tiny hole in the middle, and I've also done that with my base. So I lined those up and then poked that through to both of them. Then I just took a simple brad and I pushed the brad through, whoops, and flipped it over. Now you could totally just glue this down, but I liked the fact that this spin, I just thought that was really cute. Okay, now we're going to add our snowflake onto the top of the box, and just know that over in Lori Whitlock's shop, she has these hexagon boxes that are just so cute for Valentine's Day also. So check those out when you go in. Now when you go in to, check out her files and make a purchase, you can use coupon code SMILE by Holly and get 10% off your purchase. So that's a bonus. I will leave the referral link down in the description below. And once again, just put in coupon code SMILE by Holly for that 10% discount. So on this one, I've gone ahead and I've added a bow. You know I love bows, but I think we're going to add a snowflake onto here. And where I had added snowflakes onto the side of this box, I think I'm going to take these snowflakes and just add these on top of the box. Because it's such kind of a fun, blingy winter box. Oh yeah, I really, really like the dimension in this. Okay. Okay, so there is one with a cute little snowflake on the top, and that lid just fits down just so nicely. And then here is one with the bow. Once again, they both spin. I've just alternated colors because I thought that was cute. And then it also brought out the colors in this pattern paper down below. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please message me if you have any questions on how to make this hexagon snowflake box. I'll be happy to help you. Once again, I'll leave links down below for this file. Go in and check them out. Thank you so much for watching. Hey, if you like this video, give me a big thumbs up. I would also love to have you subscribe to my channel. So have fun crafting, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Goodbye, everybody.